The Xiaomi Mi 5s, the latest and greatest flagship smartphone made by the Chinese giant. I can't really remember how many phones the company released this year, but the Mi 5s is probably the most beautiful and powerful device Xiaomi has ever made. This is Linus, stay tuned for a full TechLineHD review. The phone ships with all the usual stuff that includes a charger, USB-C cable, SIM ejector tool, and some paperwork. My initial impressions once I took the phone out of the box were, wow, this is the most beautiful Xiaomi phone ever. Seriously, this thing looks and feels just gorgeous. We have a unibody all-metal shell with nicely rounded edges and tactile metal buttons. There are no plastic parts whatsoever, well, except for these NATO-injected inlays for antennas. I love the fact that the Xiaomi Mi 5s is a compact phone due to its 5.15 inches 1080p display, which is sharp, vibrant, and it is an awesome looking panel. We don't have any physical buttons as the Xiaomi implemented a home key which you can simply tap on it. Also, it works as a fingerprint scanner, which I found to be pretty accurate, and it unlocks your phone straight from the standby mode. The capacitive buttons are nicely backlit and they can be also highly customized. Gone is the IR blaster, but we have the headset jack, which assures a very good sound quality, to be honest. The quality of sound via the loudspeaker is good, but nothing exceptional. We have a 4-megapixel ultra-pixel selfie camera, which sits next to the highly customizable LED notification light. As for optics, we have a 12-megapixel Sony sensor with f2.0 aperture and dual-tone LED flash. However, there is no optical image stabilization. Xiaomi phones have been known to pack some of their latest and greatest hardware components available on the market, and the Mi 5s is no exception. I have the high-end model that sports a brand new Snapdragon 821 chip, 4GB of RAM, and 128GB of internal storage. You can also opt in for a lower-end model that has 3GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. Keep in mind, however, that only the high-end model has a pressure-sensitive display. As expected, the 3D gaming performance is just excellent. No matter what kind of games you play on the Mi 5s, the phone just flies. Also, I didn't notice any overheating issues. The Xiaomi Mi 5s ships with the Android 6.0 based MIUI 8 that we have already seen on other Xiaomi devices. As usual, we have a ton of customization options, various settings, tweaks, and little features to make the phone look your own. One of the key features is the pressure-sensitive display, which works great with certain apps. It's not a feature I can't live without, but hey, if you get used to using it, it may increase your productivity. Some of other cool features include a baked-in theming engine where you can choose from a lot of themes, fonts, wallpapers, and so on. Also, you can go to the so-called second space, which is, as Xiaomi says, like having two devices at the same time. Finally, I'm really impressed with how fast the Mi 5s is despite having all those features. The phone is fast, fluid, and I didn't have any hiccups or lag. The camera app allows you to take the pictures extremely fast. As usual to Xiaomi phones, there are quite a few shooting modes and settings to play with. The 12-megapixel camera can produce very nice looking images even though I took them in the cloudy day. The pictures are sharp, there is plenty of detail, and the color reproduction is good. However, I found some of the shots to be underexposed. When it comes to the low-light photography, the Mi 5s is pretty good yet not perfect. It can take some nice looking images, but most of the shots look grainier than I expected from this device. On the other hand, the dual-tone dual LED flash does a pretty good job illuminating the scene. The 4-megapixel front-firing camera takes some great selfies for the social media. Currently I'm shooting with a Xiaomi Mi 5s. I'm shooting it in 4K with the continuous autofocus feature on, and also I turned the electronic image stabilization feature on. When it comes to video, the phone can shoot in 4K. The quality of footage is great and it is probably the best I've seen on a Xiaomi phone yet. The video looks sharp and detailed, the colors look nice, and the continuous autofocus feature works great, but it can sometimes be a little bit jumpy. However, there is quite a bit of noise if you shoot videos in low light. I shot the videos with the electronic image stabilization feature on. It does not remove the shakiness completely, but I have to say that it does a pretty good job reducing it. I also noticed that the sound recording quality is better than, for example, on the Xiaomi Mi 5. When it comes to the selfie video, the quality of footage is pretty good too. The Mi 5s comes with a dual nano SIM card tray, but there is no microSD card slot. When it comes to connectivity, I didn't have any issues with a call quality, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth or GPS. The 3100 mAh battery supports Qualcomm's Quick Charge 3.0, but the phone does not ship with a fast charger. As for battery life, the phone will definitely get you through the day even if you're a heavy user, and it will get you at least 2 full days if you're a light user. That translates to over 6 hours of screen on time depending on the usage. So, there we have it, the Xiaomi Mi 5s. Honestly, this is probably my favorite Xiaomi phone I have ever reviewed since it is compact, it is very well built, it has a sharp and nice display, and powerful hardware components that assure a smooth day-to-day and 3D gaming performance. If you add great cameras, the user interface with tons of features, and awesome battery life, you're looking at a very solid smartphone. However, the low-light camera performance could be slightly better. Gone is the optical image stabilization and the IR blaster, there is no microSD card slot for storage expansion, and the phone ships without a fast charger in the box. At the end of the day, the Xiaomi Mi 5s is still a beast of a smartphone. In fact, it can be highly recommended despite a few shortcomings. For the starting price of just below $350, it is very hard to beat. It was Linus, thanks for watching, and as always, if you have any questions about this phone, please drop me a comment down below. Also, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and please follow TechLineHD on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. See you in the next video soon.